today we have a special treat. And you notice that Jenna didn't get up and give us any sharing because, you know why? She's going to share with us today something very, very special. The Reverend Jenna Smith is going to talk about light I am. So let's welcome Reverend.
Indeed.
All right, great.
Thank you, everybody. I was thinking about when you were getting up here and talking about the dog situation. Huskies are, I used to have one. Oh my God, that was the most loving, loving dog. And my granddaughter could crawl on its head, pull its ears, all of that. And she just had this gentleness, a knowing that she was all love. She was all love. But you open the door, boom, she was gonna go show her love to the rest of the world. And it brought tears to me. It's literally, it brought tears to me. I thought, oh my God. I had a cat that I almost lived in the beauty salon. And I remember my late husband, for some reason, I don't know, he was on this rant. He was not gonna have a cat. He didn't like cats. He only wanted a dog, and I don't think we had either at the time. No, yes, we did. We had a dog, yes. And he insisted that we were not gonna get a cat ever. And I said, okay, hold on here. We're in this marriage together. Half of this house is mine. And if I want a cat, I believe I will get a cat and it can go all over my half of the house, right? Well, I'm telling this story to one of my customers while I'm doing her hair, and somebody else is over there in the waiting chair listening. About 2 weeks later, here comes this lady that had been sitting there listening with this box. And immediately, oh, it hit me, boom. I said, what do you think you're doing? She says, oh, please. You know, and she told me this sob story about this sweet little kitten. So I said, look, we got a dog at home. They have to get along. They must get along. And I have a husband that does not want a cat. I said, so we'll try it. If it doesn't work, you're getting the cat back. So I took it home. He forgot. He got amnesia or something. He said, let me see that little girl. He took it, put it on his shoulder. They both fell asleep together. And from that day forth, it was his cat. It was his cat until he passed away. And then it became my cat. And anyway, she passed away the week before last. And it just, 19 years that cat lived. And she was a sweet kitty. She was kind of losing it. I think she had a couple strokes and her little mind would just go, but it would return, and she was precious. And she died at home. I sound like I'm doing a eulogy here. She died at home with all the loved ones and her family around her, because she did. I knew she was dying the night before, and I went and I petted her. I told her it was okay that she'd go. She began to act very strange. And the following morning, I mean, I had to go to bed at some time. The following morning, she was laying in her bed that I had bought for her, and she would rarely lay in it. She was laying, kind of buried, and I went and started petting her. She was still breathing. And I told her it was okay again. It's okay. Just go, you know, go into the light. And I turned around. I mean, I petted her for quite a while. I brushed her hair, which she loved. She had longer hair. I walked away for about 2 minutes. And I had her in my mind. I thought, I gotta get back to her. I wanted to be there, and I don't know why these pets don't let us be right there on the last breath. They just won't. I was gone 2 minutes. I returned, and she had gone from that buried head position, flipped her head over, and there she was. She was gone. So she was very loved, and like I said, it brought tears to my eyes. And then we have this issue. I love birds, and I feed the birds outside. I have a feeder. I have several feeders, and recently I discovered these long birds that hide under the deck that have a tail about that long, that don't have feathers. They're called rats. And I thought, okay, I have another decision to make here. And you know, I mean, I love life, like someone was saying that, you know, or I think it was you, all life is love. It was brought into this world in love, and it will ascend back to love according to the masters. You know, and I think, okay, I have an issue here. I don't want to kill the rats, but I can't have them. And I had never seen this, but this morning I'm sitting there kind of going over my material that I was going to present this morning. And I see this little bitty one. And then a bigger one. And then at one time I saw like 5 or 6 of them. And I thought, oh. And then I looked again, and there's Mama. I mean, her body was that long, and like I said, a long tail, right in the feeder, just munching away.
Where are you feeding?
Good stuff. My birds eat well.
Well, don't go
And so do my rats. So I know that they're a nuisance, and I prayed to God, what do I do? And I thought of Sherry. Sherry will tell me what to do here, because everything deserves to live at its fullest according to God, you know, but at some point, I have been told that I know Daya used to talk about this, if you have to kill something, do it quickly. Do not let them suffer, you know. And I thought, okay, so whenever I kill a roach, you know, it's a quick job. You know, I can't let them take over. I don't have a problem with roaches. Anyway, so yeah, and I happen to have some rat cater, and she told me, just bless them, send them on their way, and tell the Maha Chohan to watch over them and receive them on the other side. Sometimes some things are meant to live a certain time. Every situation is unique to its own self. And some things must be the way they are. But I cried. I did. I thought, oh, I feel like I'm killing something dear to me, because we're all connected. I'm connected to the plants. I'm connected to those animals. The fleas, everything, we're all connected. They are just of a very much lower consciousness. And that really is not what I was planning to talk about, but you all led me here, and I'm moving on. So, light I am. God is light, full light, like the sun light, life, love. All one and the same. I am light, I am love, I am life, I am what God is. That sounds like Joel Osteen. I think he says that. I don't remember for sure. But God is very bright sunlight, and from there is where we all come. Everything comes from God. Every single thing that has breath, that lives, comes from God. This brightness can also be not so much the light, but the light, the knowing, the consciousness of who we are. It is brilliance of energy, of knowingness, and setting us. The whole idea is to set us free. Everything, we come into this world totally equipped with everything that we need for life. The divine plan is in that light that we receive from God. The I am. When you say I am, those are creative words that you can say, I am healed. And if your faith is so ingrained in God, you will be healed. You name it and you can be it. You can precipitate whatever you think you need. Even money, even gold, even whatever even you want. You can if our belief is deep enough, and I'm working on it. I'm not, obviously, I'm not there. But that's who we are. That is who we really are. That creative power invokes life. I am. Boom. You are in those words creating. The light is actually electronic. It is like a thunderbolt. That's the kind of light we have in us. But it is compacted into this physical body that's standing here, and all of you there sitting. So, the light carries with it its divine plan. And when we are born, and I'm going to have to look at my notes because I don't want to so much get confused, because it was confusing to me, but I think I have it clear in my head. There is a time in the month of May, which was last month, that those folks wanting to incarnate, coming into the earth, they're not embodied, okay? They are a soul only with God. There is the hierarchy of God is tremendous. I think they have more offices than the nation, than our nation does, or any governmental situation on this earth. There are hierarchies of archangels and hierarchies of great beings. There are hierarchies of ascended masters. That there are chohans, and some of them I don't know how to pronounce. There are so many, and there are probably more of them than there are us here on earth. And we have lots of them. We come in with a guardian angel assigned to us, and that guardian angel has to stay with us no matter what it wants. I mean, it has given its entire self for us, and it will stay with us lifetime after lifetime. So, back to the month of May, those that want to incarnate, there is a group of people called, or entities, souls, that are called the karmic board, okay? They are in charge of, they're not in charge of your karma, you're in charge of your own karma, but they keep track of your karma. They know what you've done, they know what the divine plan for you is. It is discussed with the parents who are already incarnated in a soul level. They are that and the one that wants to incarnate. The parents and the one that wants to incarnate have a meeting with the karmic board, and they are given the okay as to when this is going to happen. Okay? So let's say a couple met with another soul in the ethers, and they decided they are going to be born in the month of this month, in June. As soon as that decision is made, the light elements, life elements, begin to enter into the female, because she is the one that has the egg. Within 72 hours of that meeting, with the karmic board, people, I mean, these elemental life, I mean, that's air, the earth, all these things and everything that is involved. And I won't, I won't go into what, but they're elementals that have life for my life, for your life, for everybody's life. And they begin to come in within 72 hours. After that, conception is made, okay? I don't know how they know. The woman and the man know that they're supposed to get together, but they do. And then with that comes the threefold flame, which is the spark of God, the light that is that piece of God that God gives to us so that we may live here on this earth, comes with this threefold flame. And it is, the threefold flame stands for love, power, and wisdom. And they're kind of like plumes of fire is what they are. And of course we have them encapsulated within us, so you don't see pieces of fire sparking except in the aura, Juan. If somebody can see that, they can see the light. They can see flashes like you do with the sun. You know, it has flashes that throw out. Anyway, the power is blue, a blue plume of flame. The wisdom is gold or yellow. It is another plume. And then the love is always pink. Those three are always together for each person that comes into this earth. And once that egg begins to get fertilized, more energy from that begins to come in and to feed, and the cells begin to divide, and the electrons it's just like fire. It's quick. Have you ever seen in a microscope how cells divide? Mm-hmm. It does that. I mean, it starts boom, boom, boom. I mean, immediately. It is phenomenal. I find it to be so awesome. And I've heard people say that you cannot combine spirituality with with science or religion even and stuff like that. I think it is so, spirituality is so scientific. Anyway, I get very enthusiastic with this because I love it. I love it. So the elementals, like angels, that kind of elements could begin to give you more life until, and I find that I can see better. Woo! And they begin to, when that threefold flame comes in, also the light of God begins to shine through you. And it is from the etheric, you have the physical, then you have the etheric, the mental, and on down to the,
causal body.
the causal body, which is the mental. That's where all the good in your life is stored. I don't know what the other ones, all the bad is thrown out, hopefully. And to the emotional body, I'm sorry, that's the one I couldn't remember. So the elements, the threefold flame, that threefold flame becomes the magnet for everything that the divine plan has for you to do. Now, we all get this. It enters through the, and when that, actually, I don't know if I can show you with this. The threefold flame comes in, stops at the back of the neck where the brain cord is. It's been a while since I've studied this stuff, but it stops there and then goes into the heart, and that's where it resides. And from then on, it is the flame within the heart that, I'm not ready for that yet. It enters the top, stops at the brain, goes into the heart, and stays there. The cells, the light is actually forming substance, and I've heard Donald talk about light substance, love substance. It's all of that. And it vibrates just like those things that you see under a microscope, but it's a rapid movement. So, the I am comes with that threefold flame. That is your I am. And within that encapsulated threefold flame is the Christ self. Comes in and abides there, okay? And it is kind of like the bridge between the Christ and the I am presence. And I will just show you. And I don't know, a lot of the prints that you might see of the threefold or the I am presence doesn't have the Christ. This is the Christ self, okay? It is in the heart, but when you call to it, it is the interceder. Is there such a word, interceder? It is the one that it is the bridge between you, the physical person, and the I am presence, which is all that light, okay? And it supplies everything that you will ever need in your life, that threefold flame, the Christ within. It is the source of all God power. The I am, the light, supplies everything that your outer self will ever need. It supplies life, intelligence, power, and action. Jesus called the I am presence Father. He always spoke to the Father. He was talking to the I am presence of who he really was. You know, Jesus spoke in the Bible, and bear with me because I was this was some years ago. I used to scratch my head and I think, okay, Jesus was wearing sandals, I guess, okay? And I know there were a lot of mountains and hills, or maybe there was a lot of desert area where he traveled. And it says in the Bible that he used to go to the mountains or the hills to talk to God, to get with his I am presence. And I thought, okay, where am I going to find a mountain here in Texas? And how far do I have to go get on a mountain so I can talk to God? And after a while, I thought, okay, Jenna, if you want to regenerate your power, all you have to do is sit down somewhere and go to that mountain in consciousness. Yeah, I don't have to climb up a hill and sit up there, I don't have to climb up a mountain. How long would I be gone? What about my stuff at home? All we have to do is become quiet and go to that mountain, the Holy of Holies, the Most High in your consciousness. It is not outside of it. None of this stuff is outside of us. None of it. So Jesus would go and remember, bring everything back, close it in, and be who he really was. So, yeah, my thought was, couldn't he have done it another way? And the answer is yes. Yes, he could. And did. He did not have to go up a mountain or climb hills. In sandals? Really? They didn't have hiking boots, I don't guess back. I don't know. I remember them wearing sandals a lot. So we have everything within us. That threefold flame of love, wisdom, and power is within each one of us. The Christ is within us. No one, this is another thing that has always, I was like, Jesus also said in John 14:6, he says, "No one goes to the Father but by me." Everybody agree that that's what it says? Okay, so does that mean that we have to go ask Jesus to let us through? No. This right here, the Christ, Jesus the Christ. It was the Christ part of him that you have to go through to get to the I am presence, to the God within you. It's all right here. It's not, you know, I don't have this Christ up above me running around, and yet I do. And yet I do. But that's what he meant. You have to go through the Christ, and then you open up to the God within. And somebody spoke it, I think it was Nino. Gratitude. I've been in that place that you were talking about, like, you know, I can think of everything else that I should be doing, or coulda, shoulda, woulda, you know, and then I think, okay, one thing that throws all that out is to start being grateful for what I have, for my health, for everything in my life. Even, yes, even the things I don't like, because they are there to teach me something. There's always a lesson to be learned. It doesn't matter how dismal it looks and you think, well, what am I supposed to learn from this? When you really give it thought, there's a lesson in it for all of us. I mean, for the person having that situation. So, oh my. This is us right here, that little gold man, okay? Around it is a violet fire. Right around us, okay? That violet fire has within, if we just become conscious of it and give our own I am presence a lot of devotion and love, because it is with us no matter what. It will not leave us ever, 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 until we cross back over into the other realm. Then there is a separation, and it is kept together while we're here by the silver cord. I'm sure you all are familiar with that. That is what keeps us. You cannot get lost. You cannot leave. You know, when you sleep, you leave. Guess what? In the morning, you're back there in your bed again. You wake up, and here you are, you know, in full movement and everything. So there is no way that it can leave you unless you don't breathe anymore. So it is there. The violet fire is there to transmute, consume energy that is not like itself. And what is it if it isn't like us? It is love, mercy, compassion, invocation, transmutation, and total freedom if we just ask. And we came into this world through, you know, the story of Adam and Eve. They had a perfect world, perfect, until they decided to use their free will, which they were allowed. And we have just done what we're doing now. Where it has gotten harder and harder for us to sit and meditate for 20 minutes. We made 40 minutes the other night. Although I was a little bit late. I wasn't quite the 40 minutes, but maybe 35. Yeah, and I could have gone on, Nino. I could have gone on. I mean, once you're there, it's like, oh, don't let it be over. And he said, it's time to come out. And I'm going, no, I don't wanna. But anyway, I talked about the hierarchy, and there was a place here that I want to read to you. and I'm kind of digressing now because I've already talked about it, but this is about when the birth and all that. From the heart of the presence is a ray of light extending down, entering the human body through the top of, in case you didn't get it when I explained it, maybe reading it. There is a light ray extending down, entering the human body through the top of the head with where the soft spot of the newborn child is, and it is anchored in the heart. This is the stream of life that beats the heart and keeps the person alive. When it withdraws in so-called death, then it goes away. In like manner, the presence is connected by a ray of light that, whoa, didn't go. I get into this and I started to rock back. This ray of light from the presence, called the silver cord, enters the top of the head, goes through the heart, and at the base of the brain, the medulla oblongata, and from there is distributed by tiny threads of light to every cell of the body. This is how the body is alive, or has life. This is an unconscious action from any part of our outer selves. I don't have to direct it. God does it. And it's carried by the Christ self of all of us, the higher mental body and the body elementals. They're being distributed enough light for the body to function properly in the physical, to render the services of the outer that the Christ self wants to do in the embodiment that we're in with the divine plan. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I hope that you learned something, and maybe you didn't, maybe you already knew all this stuff, but I think it bears going over it again and kind of remembering. And the point I really wanted to make is that Jesus went to the mountains to meditate. That's what he was doing. He was remembering himself, bringing himself together, and that's what we need to do. Sit in meditation and just re-energize. And thanks to Nino, the best way to do that is with breath and gratitude. Gratitude is the biggest, and the breath. So thank you for listening to me. I appreciate y'all.